Hi, Dan Stein, president of FAIR. Thanks for watching. It's late March and we've got about 7 months left in 2012, and I want to tell you what we need to be looking out for. The Obama administration doesn't want the American people to know what they're doing. They're hiding behind their non-enforcement policy by saying the borders are secure and there's just some people whose enforcement is not a priority. That's not the truth. They're not enforcing immigration law. Illegal immigrants arrested at demonstrations, civil disobedience, and others who are self-identifying, no action is being taken, and this is happening on a mass scale. It's mass illegality. A sense of justice means that what should happen ought to happen. And that means if you break the law, there should be consequences. Let's work together to restore justice to America's immigration enforcement apparatus. Now, how we can do that is to keep pressure on legislators to try to make sure they bring up important bills that are going to highlight the need for immigration enforcement and improve selection criteria. The E-Verify bill in the House, while it needs some amendments, is an important measure that needs to advance. We want to eliminate the preemption clause if we can, but nevertheless, mandatory nationally verified at the federal level is essential. Now, there are some other bills in Congress which create some confusion because for many Republicans are behind bills which are actually special interest bills for business. We see a lot of those in the Senate, and we see some other special interest bills Republicans have been pushing, like the Irish amnesty. Now, the Democrats, particularly in the Senate, people like Schumer, Reid, and others, have gotten behind some bills that they feel they can use to score political points. Things like the DREAM Act, like this Irish amnesty, which Schumer has now stolen from Senator Brown, and some other bills which are all really designed to create political points. Now, if they bring those bills up into the Senate, what can happen is the Republicans, without strong and centralized messaging, keeping pressure on the Obama administration's attacks on the states and its opposition to state laws, the lack of action by the Republicans is going to leave an opening for Charles Schumer to bring all these bills up, and then they'll be floating around in the Senate. Now, it's possible they'll bring the DREAM Act up to the floor. I wouldn't be surprised if Harry Reid did that. Would he actually do it in an election year? Well, I think this president has made it clear that he's thrown down the gauntlet and he said, I'm going to use immigration to create a wedge between Hispanic Americans and the Republican Party. I and my allies, the Obama administration and its allies, are going to be trying to inflame resentment among Hispanic voters by trying to characterize immigration control efforts as somehow anti-Latino. This is a both morally and ethically bankrupt position. It's unprecedented in the use of cynical manipulation of immigration policy. Naturally, Latino voters are way too clever for that, and they're going to see right through it. But nevertheless, it means that the Obama administration is no longer interested in sound public policy, but just exploiting the immigration system for partisan gain. Now, the real danger is that all these bills floating around in the Congress could wind up getting merged into some kind of omnibus bill, not so much before the election, but after the election in a lame duck. This is going to be a very dangerous lame duck session for us at the end of this year. And we have to work hard together, collectively, to try to make sure that doesn't happen by keeping pressure on legislators and being out there at town halls where candidates talk and raising the issue. Now, the Supreme Court's going to be considering the all-important Arizona case. They're going to be arguing this. This is SB 1070, the Arizona bill, SB 1070. They're going to be arguing this case in April and deciding it in the fall, throwing the outcome into the election. Now, if this case, as we hope, goes our way, giving the green light to states to pass more of these bills, we're going to see state and local policies again be a national electoral issue. It's definitely in the interest of the Republican leaders to continue to talk about the importance of state and local legislation and state and local support. It puts pressure on the Obama administration. It highlights the fact that Congress has never delegated this authority to abandon immigration law enforcement, and brings the issue front and center for the American people to fully understand. We have to work together to help keep this pressure on, because now it's more urgent than ever. Let's not let the Obama administration politicize our issue in a negative way and try to take control of it for cynical partisan gain. Inflaming interethnic resentment, using immigration for cynical partisan gain is not the American way. At FAIR, we want to restore justice to the immigration control system, make sure the rule of law matters, and empower the American people to make the decision on who gets to come and under what conditions. Thanks so much.